And let's get a view now from SADTU, the Teachers Union General Secretary, Mugwena Maluleke. Mr. Maluleke, thank you for being with us. Are you happy with the workaround and the news from the department that the exams will be scheduled around the blackouts?
First, greetings to you and your viewers, and thank you for having us indeed. Look, the word happy will be a very difficult word to be said by me. I would rather say that we are satisfied with the preparations that the DG and the Minister have shared with the nations today. And also they have had several meetings with our team and ourselves yesterday to really put us on board in terms of what preparations they have put in place. And therefore we were satisfied with the preparations. However, we have raised our concern, obviously, around the issue of blackouts that is going on and obviously impacting on our learners. And it will continue to impact on our learners because writing examination really does not need any learner to be having any levels of anxiety, because an examination by its nature, it's a very tense moment. And then when you lose 2.5 hours due to blackout, clearly it is that you do not start where you ended. You start by worrying, and that would cause depression.
Yeah, and you don't want any uncertainty around this time about start times, things like that. The matriculants have had lots of challenges. We were talking about that with the Director General now, the worst year of load shedding and the history of COVID-19 in recent years. Have your members, the teachers, been supported this year to do what they need to do? How are they feeling about the start of exams?
The teachers have done everything that they could. In actual fact, we are proud of our teachers. They have done more than what is expected of them, as always, not being with their families, working over weekends, during holidays, during afternoon, and some of them sleeping over the weekend at the level of the schools, parents and learners, in order to prepare them. And therefore, they are looking forward to making sure that they support the learners throughout until they finish writing. It's unfortunate that one class would have to write on the 7th of December. Clearly, it brings some kind of uncertainty to the teachers who have done so much to help the students. So our teachers are ready, and they have also committed that they will, for the first time, work with the student throughout this in terms of allowing the student to do revision at the level of the school. Some will also be continuing in the camps with the teachers, especially those learners that have shown some signs of not 100% ready and still very anxious about the examination. They will be taking them through.
In a statement you released, you called for Sanko and Umalusi for the protection and support of learners and communities affected by demonstrations. And of course, there's also been some uncertainty about water in Gauteng. That seems to have stabilized for now. But are there any areas that you're particularly worried about?
Yes, we have some concerns around the areas in Northwest and then some areas in the Northern Cape that sometimes are affected by community protest, and hence we are supporting Sanko for the first time that they have called upon the nation to protect the future of our children. I don't know of any nation or any country that would want to disrupt the future of their children. Of course, a lawless South Africa, as we know it today, you may not be 100% sure, because when people want a tarred road, they go and ban a library and a school. So obviously, it is that level of irresponsible citizenry that we have seen in our country, and therefore we believe in those particular areas that normally would target our children, they would not do so this year.
Well, let's end there. And you spoke about lawlessness and a lack of respect for education. How do you change that? Any ideas where this becomes a moment for the country to really rally behind these matriculants and just look at the intense fundamental value of education? It's something we should all treasure and all nurture.
I agree with you. any nation that would want to progress with respect and protect education, we must start at the level of the parliament by politicians to then say, can we see them respecting education by not allowing austerity measures to be applied in education? Can we see them really calling upon the communities to stop the violence against our children and against our schools and our teachers? And that is where we begin. Our campaign for I Am a School Fan is calling upon each and every citizen in this particular country, first and foremost, to love their school, to protect the school from any form of destruction and obviously from any form of violence. We don't believe in violence, and therefore we are saying, let's partner, all of us, talk education, live education, eat education, because we want to deal with the inequalities and unemployment and poverty. And therefore, we believe that we can be able to change our mindset around education. But if politicians do not change their mind around education, people follow politicians, unfortunately, in this country. So they would do less in protecting the schools because politicians don't respect education and the value for education.
All right, so it starts with the politicians. Thank you very much for your time, General Secretary of Union SADTU, the Teachers Union, Mugwena Maluleke.